welcome back to my channel. So a very happy new year to you all. I know this video is coming quite late in the month. I did originally film at the start of the month and then had some technical issues. All the footage, when I transferred it to my computer, ended up the files became corrupt. And then this start of 2021 has been a little bit rough. I work in a boarding school, and the news came when we were all told we were going into full national lockdown that schools would be closed. But as a boarding school, we had students who were already flying from other countries in, so it was a little bit touch and go there. But the school part is kind of closed, we're online, but the accommodation is open, so I am still working, which has meant that I haven't been able to film this video since I originally filmed it on the 3rd of January. But I thought I would sit down today and film the video and go through the things that I wanted to show you and kind of go through some plans for the rest of the year, because I did want to get some feedback and I did want to get some advice and show you what I have working on. So I'm going to be showing you, I have one FFO sitting right back there. I have quite a few finishes for the month of December and a couple for the start of January, and show you the WIPs that I have that I've carried over from last year. Now, I have been loving watching everyone's WIP parades. It has been so nice to see all of the WIP parades and see everything going on. There's no point me filming a WIP parade. I only have something like 5 WIPs maybe. I started cross stitching in August and I've done a fair amount, but I haven't got enough WIPs to film a WIP parade. So I'm just going to include a mini WIP parade in here. But to be honest, nearly all of my WIPs I have touched since filming the last video, so we will go into that. So I do apologise if you can hear the sounds of the fridge and the freezer. It is being very loud. I have a fridge and freezer in my room right behind me, but my room is quite small. Like literally the camera is pushed as far back as I can towards the bunk bed that's on the side next to me, and I have a little table thing there, so I can't move away from the fridge. So I'm really hoping that the noise is not going to be too bad. If it is, then I will have to try and work something out in the future for filming. But yeah, so I do apologise for that, and I also apologise if you can hear the students kind of moving around. They are working in their rooms, which means they can probably hear everything I'm saying. Yeah, I'm gonna get the mickey taken out of me later for filming a YouTube video. But yeah, so let's just jump in. So I'm gonna start with my best new thing. Now, my best new thing is something that I've had for a while. It is my Lowry stand. I, over Christmas, had taken 5 days annual leave, which put me at, basically, with all the bank holidays and everything, at pretty much nearly 2 weeks off. And I ended up coming up with a bit of a kind of way to get a stitching corner in my room. I don't have any armchairs, I just have these swivel chairs that I sit on, which are okay for a little while but not comfortable to stitch in for hours. So I dragged in my deck chair that I had for the summer months outside. It's so comfortable, so I set that up and was using my Lowry stand, and I got so much stitching done using that. Before, I was stitching holding my Q-snaps, which would always, after a little while, feel a little bit heavy and I needed a bit more of a break. But with my Lowry stand, it was amazing. I could stitch away and then have a little break, but because I wasn't holding it, I could stitch for longer. So I absolutely love that, and definitely would recommend the Lowry stand. I absolutely love mine. I have got a couple of accessories coming. I've got the magnetic kind of clip for the board for your patterns, so I could hold my patterns up on it, and I've also got the little dish tray so I can put my scissors and things like that in it, so I don't have to keep having everything kind of balanced on my lap. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting those and trying that out. But that has been a really good thing, is actually, one, creating like a little area I can stitch in. It has meant that I don't have much floor space, but oh well. It's been really nice, and it's nice and easy to kind of put away, and the Lowry stand doesn't take up much space, so I can leave that out the whole time. So that has been my best new thing, is my Lowry stand and my new setup. And I just want to show you my FFO. On this channel, if you've seen my other floss tube videos, I don't tend to like fully finish my project, FFO, fully finished object, because I don't have the space. I'm not really allowed to put things up on the wall, so I can't, there's no point framing them to put them up. As you can see, a lot of the surfaces are used. It's basically a accommodation room in a university or a college, so you have to work with what you have. So a lot of my items do live in the box under my bed for the time being, but I'm more of a process stitcher than a finisher. But I did finish this piece. This is my spring barnyard stack by Cherry Hill Stitchery, and I just finished this. I got this little wooden frame thing from Hobbycraft. I saw them on the website for £3.50 the other day, but they are often down in the sale. I picked this up for, I think, £1.50, and I just finished all my stitching. I did change this, so it is meant to have like a floral band at the top, but I knew if I stitched that it would not fit on my board. And then it does, this normally is a butterfly. I had this really cute bee charm, so I just finished it with the little charm in place. So yeah, that is my fully finished item, and I absolutely love it. It's so sweet. It is a hanging decoration, but at the moment I just have it propped up on my silhouette cameo there. So a couple of other finishes I really tried in the month of December. I didn't want to start too much. I wanted to try and finish as many WIPs as I can to go into the new year kind of with a little bit of a fresher start, so I had more spaces for open WIPs. So I finished the Freebie Be Well from autumnlanestitchery. I absolutely love this design. When all of these came out, I think it was March, April, some of them came out in May, I wasn't actually cross-stitching. So what I did was, when I started cross-stitching, someone recommended going on and having a look and downloading some of these patterns. So I had some patterns to start to see if I actually wanted to cross-stitch. And then when I saw this one, I knew I'd have to stitch it. It's so gorgeous. I did change the colours. I have used my own threads. I used some fancy threads for the first time, but I also used some DMC. I just kind of used whatever I had to hand. So as always, in the description box below will be a list of all the materials I used. So the fabric, the thread, and the pattern name and designer. So if you would like to have a look down there, that's where you will find all of the information for the pieces that I show. But yeah, so just a close-up, that is my fully finished piece. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish this. This may go into my cross-stitch journal. I'm just not quite sure yet. The next piece, and I'm not entirely sure what this pattern is called or where I got it from. I think I got it out of a Just Cross Stitch magazine. I know the fabric is a 16 count EOST. It was a scrap of fabric I had left over from, I think it was my Just Chill and Cross Stitch item that I showed a couple of weeks ago. So I just had this little piece left, and I thought I'm going to pick my own threads. So I picked my own colours for this one, but I followed the colours in there. So where it had a yellow, I used a yellow. Where it had a purple, I used a purple. I just picked my own brand, like my own, I think it called for DMC. I used Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks. But yeah, so for this one I kind of went completely out and picked all of my own colours. So I've got a variegated and different variegated threads because I never really used them before. They kind of intimidated me. I bought loads of them because they were gorgeous, but I never used them because I wasn't sure how to use them. So I picked a small little design. I'm pretty sure this was out of Just Cross Stitch magazine, and just went for it. So I really like this. This will probably go into my cross stitch journal. I just need to have kind of a sit down journaling session. My next piece, and I absolutely love this one. So during the month of December, there was on Jardin Prive's website, she was doing it was kind of a mystery stitch along, but we knew it was the 12 days of Christmas. And she was releasing a part each day, and then she would recap it the next day, and then it would be gone. So you only had like the 2 days to try and get each section as it came out. And it was released over 12 days, and she gave you, I think, 15 or 16 days to finish it. And she was looking for a model stitcher, so whichever ones she picked would have their designs on the pattern that she has now released. And she also gave them a gift card and things like that. And I thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to challenge myself to try and get as far as I could. Now, December for me is quite a busy month work-wise. It's a time where all the students are getting ready for Christmas. I'm organising their Christmas party, putting up all their decorations. Also then organising where they're going to stay over the holidays, like making sure they've got taxis. So it's quite busy for me. But I nearly did it. I didn't finish it on the deadline. I needed a little bit more time to do it. But I'm so glad that I did stitch this. So this is the 12 Days of Christmas. I'll show it up close. So I had done all of the inside, so all of these kind of blocks, and I literally had done all of this. I just had this last little bit here to do, but it was getting to like 3 AM the morning of the deadline, and I had to put it down and just go to bed because I had to be up at work the next day. So I didn't get it finished then. I did go back to it on Christmas Eve and just finished it up. But yeah, I absolutely love how this piece turned out. And I used most of the called for colours. I did have to change a couple of colours because obviously when it released on the 1st of December and I just wanted to stitch it. So a couple of the colours I did change, and yeah, I just love how it turned out. So I ended up for this one picking a Zweigart 18 count grey Ada that I had, and I'm so glad that I went with the grey. I really love how the grey and the brown look together, and it's just absolutely adorable. So this is one of those pieces that eventually I would like to get framed, but at the moment I'm not. However, now I'm looking at it, I'm like, project bag. But I can't do that. I need this piece framed. I cannot just turn it into a project bag. But yeah, so this pattern now is available on her website. You can purchase the pattern, but throughout the month of December she was giving it away for free. So my next piece was a piece that I finished. I actually finished this on Christmas Day. What a year. And this is by Noobxstich on Instagram. I've stitched this on Chromatic Alchemy June in 16 count. And it's just stitched with DMC 310 black. So this is just such a simple piece. I do admit, the hair, I kind of got a little bit bored following the pattern and it was quite confusing. So I ended up just kind of doing my own thing, but I really like how it turned out, and it's not that different to how the pattern would have been. But I just think this sums up the year, and I think with this one I'm going to turn it into a book sleeve so I can put my journal from my December daily into it. So I'll probably use this and my festive piece that I showed you in my first flosstube channel. So that was the last one. And then my first finish of 2021, I was racing to get this finished before the 1st of January. However, I didn't quite make it, but I did finish it on something like the 3rd of January. If I'd picked this up on the 1st of January, it would have been done. I just thought I want to do my New Year, New Start. So this is There Is Always Something to Be Thankful For by Country Cottage Needleworks. Stitched this on 16 count Country French Café Mocha Ada. I love how soft this one is. And this one is mainly the cool four colours, but I did change the yellow to Classic Colorworks Buttermilk. I had that in stock. I didn't have a DMC the right shade for it, so I just used that. And I think that's pretty much all I changed. Oh, I did use chalk instead of DMC white because I wanted to see what the chalk would look like on this. So yeah, that is that finished piece. I really not sure what I'm going to do with this one. It was just one of those designs that I saw it, really liked it and wanted to stitch it. So those are all of my finishes. So I had quite a few. I don't normally finish that many pieces. I am quite a slow stitcher, but I think the fact that I had some time off work really did help. And because I was at home and not with family, I literally got up in the morning, did my chores, and then just sat and stitched for hours. I think I was doing kind of 6 to 8 hours a day of cross stitching, which meant I could finish quite a few of those and start some of my other projects. So I'm now going to go on to my WIPs and show you the WIPs that I have, either the ones that I started in 2020 but haven't touched since last video, but also the ones that I have touched. So the first one is my oldest project that I still have, and I find that quite funny saying oldest project, because when most YouTubers say that, they're talking about a project that they had from 2016 or 2008. Yeah, this is from September of 2020. So it is the Harry Potter, well, I call it the Wizard World map. When I bought this, it was the Marauders map. I'm trying to think of who it was by. So it's by Born to Cross on Etsy. And I do apologise because I know that this picture is really blurry. And it was one of those where I am not sure yet whether I would recommend the seller. She has some gorgeous pieces, but this chart is actually quite blurry and quite a little bit difficult to read, and the reason for that is basically she's put a photo into one of these photo to cross stitch apps and created the pattern. Now I absolutely love the pattern, but I guess I could have just done it myself. However, she's done it, it's on her Etsy, that's where I got it. It was actually a friend bought it for me. Yeah, she bought it for me when I very first started cross stitch, so I didn't get too far into it. It was quite scary for me. I started it when she gave it to me, but this is actually going to be a restart. So originally I started this on a 14 count piece of Zweigart parchment, and I spent time gridding the fabric, so the fabric's all gridded, and I literally have got about 350 stitches in, and I just don't like the 14 count. I don't know what it is. I just really, I've decided, like, I worked it out with my Hello, is it Oh Dear or Hello Dear? The Caterpillar cross stitch one. It was the fabric. It was what I love the design. It was just the fabric was putting me off. So I am going to be restarting this. And I can, because I'm only 350 stitches in, which for a design that is about 16 pages, as you can see, it's full coverage. I need to love it in order to work on it. So what I have got here is I was going to get a 16 count Zweigart Magic Ada. However, they didn't have it in stock, so I ended up getting the 18 count. So I need to do some testing as to, do I use one thread, do I use 2 threads, and work out what I like. But I am going to be restarting this pattern. So that is going to be... Hey, yeah, so I do apologise that my phone ran out of memory. So I was saying I'm going to restart this on this 18 count Zweigart Magic Guide. I will test out to see whether I need 2 strands, 1 strand, whatever I prefer. And I also picked up a new needle minder from Dinky, I think it's called Dinky Dyes, but I will list it down below. And it is a Hogwarts night scene needle minder, which I thought would be perfect to put on my Wizard World map. So that is going to be one of my WIPs, but it's going into a new start. I'm going to restart this year, and I will talk a little bit more about that later on. So another WIP, and this is the only kind of older WIP that I had. I started this, I'm not sure when I started this. It was either November or December, and it is the Jardin Prive Be Happy and Smile. And firstly, I'm really annoyed with myself. I had this in a project bag that not one I made, but one that I bought off of Etsy, and I didn't realise that my pattern had ended up being kind of straight behind the vinyl, and it got stuck and it's pulled off like patches of the pattern. So I'm really disappointed with that, but at least it's just the front cover and not my actual chart. So this one here, I've done a little bit of work on it, and I do apologise for the kind of strand there. It's one that I'm currently kind of picking up as I go. And this one I'm stitching on a 16 count Chromatic Alchemy in Malva, which I have to say, it's a little bit difficult to show on camera. It's like a lavender bluey purple colour. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I have to say, one of my, I think so far, favourite colours that Chromatic Alchemy does, and definitely one that I'd be getting some more pieces in, probably some bigger pieces as well. I'm using the cord for DMC, except for I've changed the 3865 because I used it in the snowflake up here, which I'm not even sure if you can see. You can't really see very well in real life. I changed it in her dress to ecru, which was working really well. I'm just not quite sure what to do about down here. I think I might still do ecru anyway, because it is like the bottom lining of her dress. I know it's meant to be the snow, however, it would match with what I've done up here, and there's no way I'm picking this out. So I think this part down here is still going to be an ecru. However, all the snowflakes around the design are going to be done in a light shade of blue. I'm just not sure which one yet. So this is one that I've kind of been working away on. I've got the smoke done in her dress. I'm just working on the houses, and then I will go and outline the dress and have that as a one that I can work on when I'm at work, because things like fill-in and stuff like that is something that if I'm waiting for a student, like if I take them to a doctor's appointment and they've gone in, or I'm like it's arrival day and the students are coming in nice and early, I can just sit in the office and just simply fill this in. It doesn't involve any counting or anything, which is what I did with this piece. As you would have seen the progression, it kind of slowed down when all the outlines were done, because I have always a piece that I have thrown in my bag that can be fill-in. At the moment, I'm now just doing the houses, which are really easy to count. So this piece just lives in my handbag and gets worked on as and when I need to. And I will switch out as I kind of get more towards the end of this one. I may switch out and put in a different piece, but I always have a nice and simple piece in my handbag that I can just work on as I need to. Something that I'm not in any rush to kind of finish at all. The next one is one that I haven't worked on at all since I started it, and that is my, I do apologise for the sound of the sip, Madame Chantalier Advent. So this one, I haven't really worked on it at all, but you'll see in upcoming plans that this one will be worked on, and it's still where I left it. I have the first box done and the next two outlined. That's about all I can say for that one. I haven't really got too far in it. I'm stitching this on Zweigart 18 count Pearl Grey, and it's one of those where I have changed some of the colours to just one up, one down, like a DMC shade darker or lighter, depending on what I had in my stash at the time. I have the piece that I'm going to finish this on, and hopefully this one will be finished by December 2021. But we will see. I will talk about that in upcoming plans. The next one is a recent one that I've been working on, and one that I absolutely love. I'm hoping to get some time to stitch on it today. It is Autumn Lane's Autumn Town, and I have started participating. I started this on the 26th of December, which is when the Steel City Stitchers and NBC Stitcher did their holiday hangover sale. So just use hashtag holiday hangover sale and show the progress. There hasn't really been many updates on this one since kind of the 26th, 27th of December, but hopefully I'll get some time to work on this and I can update my Instagram post with that. And this is how far I got. So I am a centre starter. So I've started with my centre house. Now this kind of crosses over 2 different pages, but I kind of wanted just to get this house stitched. So this is where I started with this house, and then I'm working up into the left top corner. But I absolutely love it. With this one, I am kind of following the colour scheme, but I have chosen pretty much changed all of the threads. I'm using quite a few sulky threads because I absolutely love the sulky threads now. And I wanted to really kind of give them a test and see how they went. So I've got a variegated sulky. I also have a variegated sulky in my house to add a little bit of dimension to it. And I absolutely love how this is working out. So once again, everything will be listed down below or on Instagram at b.morecreative. I will have the image which shows you all the thread that I'm using. And for my one, I didn't at the time have the colour that is the called for roof colour. I cannot remember what the called for roof colour is now. But I'm going to end up having 3 different Weeks Dye Works because I have a little bit of one, a little bit of another, and then I've purchased, which has come in, the called for colour. So my roofs are going to be different colours, but I just think that's going to add more texture to it. I just wanted to use up what I had and then ordered the pieces that I need. So I'm stitching this on an 18 count, sorry, Jade Dragon Jodry Designs fabric, and I love it. It's definitely washed out on this camera. I do apologise for that. I'm not sure. My lighting is really bad, but I have a picture on Instagram. If you just scroll one across, the first one is pretty washed out because I wanted to show the stitching, but the second one shows the colour really well of this fabric, and it is just a gorgeous kind of light green mixed with some darker green patches. Really, really nice fabric. I definitely would recommend checking out Jodry Designs. I am part of their monthly club, so I actually have 2 clubs from them this year. I have their 18 by 27 piece of fabric. I also have their 13 by 18 piece of fabric, which I've gone for. The 18 by 27 is I've gone for the neutral palette, and then I'm in their monthly fabric club, which is just whatever fabric of the month it is, plus their threads of the month as well, which I'm not sure if I'm going to carry on with the threads. They are absolutely gorgeous. I just have so many threads. I just need to work out when I'm going to use all of these pieces. So at the moment I'm still in it. Might carry on for a bit, but if I get too much, because they're absolutely gorgeous, but they're all variegated, which is something I'm still working on how I'm going to use. So my next one was my New Year, New Start, and I am doing the Loose Feather series. So this is chart number 1. It's Spring Fever. I absolutely love these. I'm planning to do probably 1 a month. There is only 9 of them, so the summer months I may not get one finished. It just depends on how things go. But my aim is by December 31st, 2021, I will have this series finished. And I am stitching this on Chromatic Alchemy June, and I think it's 16 count. And this is how far I've got. I absolutely love this fabric. I've ordered some roller frames because my piece of fabric is so long, it's just a little bit difficult to handle in the Q-snap. So as you can see, I have done all of the outside border. It was my first time doing lazy daisy stitches, so mine aren't great, but I do love how it has turned out. So yeah, I just have the inside to do, and this is really nice to stitch. It's my first Blackbird design piece, but I just love how simple it is to stitch, and these charts are actually quite small. They are only 91 by 91 stitches, so it's not too big, and I've done I think the most difficult part, which is the border. I've now just got to do the inside. So I stitched on this on New Year's Day, and then I stitched on it for probably about 2 hours last week, so it has had a little bit of work, but I'm quite proud with where I've got up to so far. So then I have a little bit of actually, let's go into plans first and then see, because a lot of my haul hasn't come in, and if I have time at the end I will do some haul. So I'm doing WIP Go this year. I discovered it at the end of last year and thought it was such a great idea, so I have created my WIP Go board, and this month we ended up with 3 numbers called. So my WIP Go board is just very, very simple. I've just got it in my cross stitch journal. So I have my journal where I kind of put my mini pieces and journal about obviously what I've done. Photographs of my bigger pieces are going to go in there as well. This is kind of my bullet journal, which contains basically everything else. So I have my WIP Go board, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this very well, but I have quite a few ones that are repeated on here. So my Wizard World map that I showed you, that's going to be restarting that, I have that on quite a few of the squares, so that way I could get some really good progress in that this year, hopefully. My Madame Chantalier advent calendar, that comes up here 4 or 5 times as well, so that way I can hopefully get that finished by the end of the year. I have a couple of small new starts, because as you've seen I don't have that many WIPs, so I put in some new starts like Pick Any New Start. I've got Pick Any WIP, Be Kind New Start, because I did print and save all of those, and I've got just a couple of different ones in here. For this month we ended up with the numbers 6, 13 and 18. So 13 is a free space. I kept mine as a free space, so that one is a completed already. My number 6 finish one small. I didn't actually show that one. Let me grab that. I do have one more finish. Sorry, I completely forgot. Which is my 2021 loading. And I cannot remember who this is by. This is by Pixel Pattern Designs on Etsy. I do apologise, I should have shown this earlier. But one of my WIP Go was to finish one small, so I finished this. I do need to erase these lines, they will come off. This is because this is a scrap from another project. I used my DMC 310 for the words, and then for the red bar I used Classic Colorworks Licorice Red, because I had a little bit left over from the Thanksgiving. I thought it'd be enough to finish this, it wasn't, so I had to add in a little bit of 347 here and there, but I don't think you can really tell. And this piece, I think if it will fit, will go into my cross stitch journal. I just am unsure of the size. So that was my number 6. I have finished that one, so I'll be colouring in that square. And number 18 for me was a Boffy Threads kit, 300 stitches. So I did get gifted a couple of Boffy Threads kits for Christmas. This is one of them. I also got the Bumblebee one. And then I purchased a couple in the Black Friday sale. So I haven't started this one yet. I need to start it this week. And this is the Boffy Threads Sunshine. So that is one of my WIP Go starts. And I have to put 300 stitches into this. A lot of mine are kind of big goals for me, because I'm a slow stitcher generally, like on one piece. But for a lot of people, they're putting like 1,500 stitches in. Yeah, I've got 300 or 500 stitches. And then just quickly, just going to show you a couple of items of haul before my phone runs out of battery. So I've been watching Mama Loves GB, and she mentioned about getting Zweigart fabric on Amazon. So I thought I'd have a look, and I've purchased a couple. I have got some coming in. I found this Zweigart 20 count lilac. This is definitely not showing up on camera. I don't know how to, I'm sorry guys, but it is a gorgeous colour, and this is a 21 by 39 inches, and it only cost me a £5. So it is, I'm not going to unwrap it because it is quite big, but definitely I would check out Amazon for your things. And then I bought this Zweigart 20 count, and I didn't read this correctly. This is a Bellana cream. It's a 19 by 55 inch piece, so it's huge. And this one cost me £7. I didn't realise this was even weave. It is a gorgeous cream colour. It is pretty much the same colour as my wall. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's my first time on even weave. I am going to keep it low. I'm going to give it a go and stitch 1 over 1 and see what happens. And I'm thinking I might use this because I also purchased the Made to Create Caterpillar cross stitch. So I'm looking forward to using that. I purchased Spring at Hawkrun Hollow. Absolutely gorgeous pattern. So I purchased that one to try. I got a Year at Hawkrun Hollow. And I'm not sure, this might be one I do next year. I pitched some more blackboard designs. I got the Sewing Club book, and I also picked up Winds of Autumn because I'm enjoying stitching the other one so much. I thought I might as well grab these. I loved quite a few of the designs on the front covers, so I thought I would pick these up and give them a go. I absolutely love this one. I've never stitched a sampler, so can you call that a sampler? It hasn't got alphabets on it. I'm going to call it a sampler, but I'm not sure. Is the Mighty Oak one a sampler or not? Let me know. Maybe that will be my sampler September. So yeah, that is everything I have to show you. My quick question before my camera cuts out is I was considering doing kind of a weekly vlog thing, so I wouldn't necessarily be sitting in front of the camera, but to include some of my creative hobbies, cross stitch, scrapbooking, other things, and just turning on the camera and kind of collating a week's worth of clips. Now, if that is something that interests you, please let me know down below, as it's something that I may look into. I'm not quite sure yet if I'm going to do it, but it depends on interest and also how much time I have. But it's something I do quite a lot behind the camera. I could collate that and have it as kind of a weekly or a every 2 weeks or a fortnight vlog, so please let me know. I'm going to let you go. I've been speaking for long enough, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of the support, and I will see you all next time. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and happy stitching. Bye guys!